Reseller Clickbait Podcast, episode 88.
Morning,
Good morning, Court. Man, I like when the digits are the same. It's like 88. It's easy. It's like
it's a nice even number to remember. Well, you only have to remember one. You just have to remember it twice.
That's right. See? Exactly. There's always a way to explain it. So, good morning, Cory. Grams and Pops Vintage. I am SSKPromo today. And we'll talk about why I have so much FOMO today. Or actually, it's not just today. Been for a while, but we'll get into that later. But happy President's Day to you.
Is that today?
Today. Well, it's not.
Well,
today,
it'll be the
today,
day Monday.
Day that this comes out.
Oh, that's right. The post office is going to be closed, isn't it?
Yes, that was kind of the direction I was going. If you are, feverishly packing packages right now while you're listening to the show, you thought I need to turn on something, to just beat out the doldrums of packing and shipping. I'm going to listen to the Reseller Clickbait Podcast. You keep listening. Don't turn it off, but just don't forget, you don't have to go to the post office today because they are closed. And I had looked around. Believe it or not, Cory, I do not have any President's Day decorations. I don't think
I've ever had a President's Day decoration. I think I remember seeing some President's Day decorations in like middle school or grade school.
Yeah. Usually
I don't think I've ever owned one.
Like a cutout of like Abraham Lincoln or, George Washington or something like that they would have for President's Day.
I'm not going to get all political, but I think the President's Day decorations for nowadays would just be two poop emojis here. So probably got some around here somewhere.
You are probably, hey, maybe that's what let's just talk politics, Cory, for the rest of the show.
Let's do that.
That was our talk. But, so yeah, President's Day, no shipping today. Still probably going to follow my normal schedule. Get up, get stuff ready, get stuff ready to ship and get out. And then tomorrow, I'll be ahead of the game. Hopefully I have some good President's Day sales. I don't sell mattresses. I don't sell mattresses or, I'm not having a big tire sale, but hopefully,
are those the standard sales for President's Day?
Yeah, pretty much, I have
to keep my eyes open.
President's Day mattress sale, just in case you needed a new mattress. What was I going to say? I don't know. Maybe there'll be a sale on
Dude Wipe sale.
On Dude Wipe sale, the President Dude Wipe sale. We should start. That could be a new thing. I forgot to put my.
Just every President's Day.
Every President's Day, be a big Dude Wipe sale. I
could get behind that. Hey, that's a new slogan.
That could go right along with your poop emojis. It would work out for the current political scene. Anyway, I've got a new edition of Ken Complains About Winter. We got snow here the other night.
We had a cold snap here.
It was a nice day, Saturday. Jill and I, no, wait, it wasn't Saturday, it was Friday. Jill and I decided, let's just go have a day. We'll go out of town. We'll eat someplace. We'll do something fun, hit up some thrift stores or whatever in a different area. Do some general shopping and
just
stuff like that. We go to eat and it started to snow a little bit because they said it was going to snow. We go and we come out from the restaurant after we're eating and everything is just complete. It's probably like an inch of snow already just in the time that we were eating and the roads are horrible and stuff. So I'm going to play this.
We got a little bit of.
I've had just about enough. I cut you off mid-sentence there.
It was totally worth it. I've had just about enough. That was great.
Ken complains about when I'm tired. I'm tired of winter. It hasn't been too bad though. It's been a pretty mild,
been an easy winter
so far around here.
Fingers crossed. Knock on wood.
I was out in my folks' garage the other day and walked past the snowblower. I told my pop, I'm like, man, I'm so glad this thing isn't getting any use this year. It could just sit there and rot for as far as I'm concerned.
I told Teresa if we bought a tractor, it wouldn't snow, and here we are. So we did everybody a big favor this year.
Well, we appreciate that.
Yep. You
that
bet.
you bought that. The rest of us around the country, I don't know. Did it affect
You
me?
send donations to the
probably.
P.O. box below.
Yeah, that's right. Cory's Tractor Fund. Yeah, we don't mention it. I check the P.O. box every day, and I need to start sending myself mail to the P.O. box just so I don't feel so like
It's just always empty.
it is every day. It's empty. I don't know
That's
what I'm
depressing.
expecting to get at the P.O. box, but it is.
Maybe I'll send
a
you
bit
something.
depressing.
I'll make a note. I'll send you something.
Okay, there you go. Oh, I'm excited. I'll have to check.
And then if you
see
do
what's-
return to sender, I'll get mail too.
That's right. Or like you did the last time, addressed it to yourself
There
at
you
the
go.
P.O. box to Cory from Cory. But hey, you know where it's not going to snow?
I do. Well, I hope it's not going to snow.
Omaha,
It's not supposed to.
Nebraska. That's well, let's talk right now. Where is it? I can't point to the right spot. SSK
Ken has
FOMO.
FOMO for Omaha, Nebraska.
I
Bet
do.
you never say
And
that. Never thought you'd say that.
it never crossed my mind. It's a first. I have FOMO for Omaha. Hey, that could be a good song.
That sounds like a
make up-
good sad song.
Like a good, like a love song, like a ballady sort of a thing. To think
FOMO
into
for
that.
Omaha. I don't know. Maybe we'll come up with a little ditty and we'll just cut it in right here.
There you go. Ready now. If nothing
No.
came up, we didn't put any effort
Yeah,
into
we
it.
didn't put
so.
nothing in. We're not good songwriters.
But you've been putting lots of effort into the plan. We're talking about the Planes to Profit meetup. Again, we've kind of touched on this a little bit, but this is the week. This is the week. It is finally here. How long have you been planning this? When did you first announce that this was
geez.
coming out?
It's been, I think we had almost five or 6 months. We started planning it. So we've been at it for a little while.
Like September, October or something. And it's finally here. I have the Planes to Profit website pulled up, and it says 4 days, 16 hours, and 40 minutes until that's February 23rd and 24th, 2024. And
So in about 3 days, we'll be heading to Omaha to get set up.
yes. And it just sounds like it sounds like a cool event. We've been talking about it, and I'm not going to get to go, and that's why I have the FOMO about it. That right now, not the fear of missing out, but the feeling of missing out. I'm already feeling like Jill and I were talking when we were out at dinner, and it's like I go to my phone. I'm like, navigate to Omaha, Nebraska. I just wanted to see like how long of a drive it was, and then she started to look up some flights, and then my conscience. I don't know. It wouldn't be my conscience got the best of me. My wallet. How about that? My bank statement got the best of me as far as just not the best idea to do that.
You don't
right
have to
now.
be a good or a responsible reseller to come to this thing. Like I'm going.
Well, see, that's true. But see, you're being held up by the rest of your crew, the people that are sponsoring it. Well, Teresa, of course, because we all know that Teresa is like, she's probably worked twice as hard as you on this.
Well, no,
Careful.
I'm not going to say that.
Careful.
I will neither confirm nor deny because I have to live with her.
But so yeah, you've been working with Alicia, Inked Picker,
Yep.
is one of the co-sponsors, as well as Lori and Kyle, Happy and Grumpy Picker, are part of the crew that's been putting this together.
It's been a cool experience. I've never put one of these together. I don't think any of them have either. So it was new to all of us. But I think thankfully, because we had help of our sponsors, without the sponsors, we wouldn't have gotten this far.
Yeah.
Like those guys came in big time for us. So it's been a fun experience just putting one together, and I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be fun.
Kind of monetarily, of course, that's what sponsors do. But with prizes or giveaways or things like that they probably help. But there's a lot of effort. You find out it's like, hey, let's have a meetup, and then man, there's so many details.
Oh, just the support and the getting the word out. I mean, our sponsors, not only did they support us monetarily and prizes and things like that, they've also been really great at just when we post something, they share it out and help get the word out.
Oh,
and they've been great all around. And the prizes there are going to be, I think right now we have enough drawings and prizes together that over a quarter of the people that are coming to the event will be going home with a prize.
Oh, cool.
So that there's a lot of drawings and prizes going on, and they're all really good prizes.
So yeah, so you got like My Reseller Genie you talked about, American Bubble Boy, Vendu cross listing, and from the district platform, Dibdit, Dibdit it. How did it? I don't even know how to say that. What is it? Dibdit. It's like I put dibs on that, right? Like
I dibbed that.
I dibbed it. I did dibs on that, but that's Trash to Cash, Dibbed It by Trash to Cash, which is on the district platform.
And a few of those are sending people down to actually attend the event and speak at the event too. So I know last I heard we have someone coming from district to represent Dibbed It. I think somebody's coming down from district itself to actually attend and speak. And I believe we have a lady coming down from Vendu as well to represent them. So we've got a couple of the sponsors coming to speak, which is going to be really cool.
And you have other speakers and folks that are going to have like a breakout session of.
How many people are familiar? Resell Rabbit. I don't know how many people are familiar with him, but he's got a much larger channel than we'll ever have. He's been doing this a while. He's got a pretty large channel. So John, he'll be there to speak, and we also have Crazy Flippin' Mom. Yeah.
Crazy Flippin' Mom.
And she does a lot of arbitrage type stuff, and she'll be there to speak as well. So we've got a pretty diverse speaker crowd coming in to talk about different areas of reselling, different styles of reselling.
The just looking down the page here, other supporters, Kevin, Commonwealth Picker, and then just
I believe he was our first supporter. I believe he was the first one to actually say, Here's a little help.
Cool. Very cool. Yeah,
So
Kevin's always generous with that stuff. And then District, we talked about District themselves is a sponsor or a supporter. In it, along then with the Dibbed It thing. And then here's the one I don't understand. Cory, how is it that the Reseller Locker Room podcast is the kind of the official podcast and not the Reseller Clickbait podcast?
Well, hey, look, they were the first ones to jump in and say, hey, we're not too cheap. We'll support you guys.
Oh, okay. So
and they helped out. So like they earned that spot legitimately. They jumped in first. Like we could have supported as Reseller Clickbait Podcast, but quite frankly, we're just not that successful yet.
This is true.
I mean, we would have just given moral support.
But isn't that worth enough to get like your name on the banner? The moral support just
you would think so, but historically, no.
Before you were one of the organizers, how did you not think to go, hey, Ken, do you want to go? Cory's all about the money. Who's coming in? Who's coming in hot? Who's opening up the wallet? Who's sending along?
There's a reason we got the Scrooge McDuck up there.
Yes, exactly. But actually, it's well represented by a lot of different podcasts, right? I mean, you've got
we should just rename this thing the Reseller Podcast Get Together, because I think we talked. We're gonna be represented by like 5 different reselling podcasts, all said and done.
Yeah, that's cool.
So we've got us, which I'm part of the organizer team, so we're represented there. We've got the Reseller Locker Room Podcast, which was generous enough to support us by being a sponsor.
Yes.
We've got Kevin and the boys at Trash to Cash with Dibbed It there as a supporter.
Yes.
And I believe I've heard Bama Jaybird is coming down, the new member of Two Old Guys Podcast.
Yes, that was a big announcement. Announcement. Joining Caleb on the Two Old Guys after, Chris, old school picker, has, decided to step away for a while and go some different directions. And so that episode came out. Go watch the new Two Old Guys reselling podcast. And Bama Jaybird, Josh, right?
Here's my problem with being represented by 5 podcasts.
Yes.
We don't have a full podcast of any one podcast at the event.
Yeah.
We have a member or a supporter or something like that from 5 different podcasts, but we don't have one full podcast at the event to do an actual podcast live.
That's true.
So that was a little disappointing.
maybe you could do one live, and then I'll just be sitting here, and don't worry. Okay, here we go. Don't worry, Alicia.
We could just co-op some of these other podcasts and do one live. Just make a new podcast.
There you go. I need to do this. Don't worry, Alicia. I've got your back. Yes, Cory did forget you in his count of the Flippin' Fantastic podcast. You most certainly did.
How did I get to 5 then?
Well, you said us. You said 2 old guys. You said Trash to Cash. There's one. You said the Locker Room podcast, and you said I don't think you
okay,
said,
so math is hard. That's what I stopped because I hit 5, but I don't know how I hit 5.
Yeah,
we may have to rewind this and see how I counted all 5 fingers.
2 old guys. I don't remember, but I don't remember you saying.
Okay, Alicia. Okay, Flippin' Fantastic. They are definitely represented. She's also a supporter.
But
and I'm a horrible counter.
You are. Among
so maybe
other
me
things.
and Alicia and Bama Jaybird we'll just get together. We'll form a new podcast and we'll do 1 episode a year at Planes to Profit.
Perfect. And maybe next year I'll be able to come. Cause okay, I was here's one thing that I was excited about for you guys and for your event. Cause admittedly, I was one of the people when you first started to announce it is who wants to go to Omaha in the middle of winter? And, and it's like, well, I'll base decisions later on, based on, but look, okay, I have this. I've been actually, for whatever reason, I'm not even going. See, this is where my FOMO kicks in, Cory. I'm not even like coming to the event, but for some reason I put on my weather app on my phone, I put like Omaha, Nebraska in there so that I could check it real quick. Look at this. I don't know if anybody can see that.
Yeah, it's going to be terrible.
Something. 57 degrees and sunshine.
Now that is
Omaha
unseasonably warm.
Saturday.
That is definitely unseasonably warm for Omaha in February. So there was a good chance we could have been 10 below zero. I mean, it was 50-50.
True.
The thing is, a lot of the people that are coming are actually local, and they have to be in Omaha no matter what the temperature is. So that they're already in the Midwest. They're already going to be cold. So this was kind of a get-together for anybody around here that doesn't get coast to coast to some of them other ones, out to Vegas or Florida or wherever they're going to be. Yeah. There's a big section of the country that doesn't really get represented with one of these type of things. So that's kind of where this came in. And we are represented pretty well there by people from the Midwest. I mean, we got people from South Dakota and Kansas and Missouri and Nebraska. We're like all the way down the middle here.
But you were telling me there are also a lot of people that are coming,
even further.
Kentucky, Michigan, Wisconsin, all over the place. So that's cool. It sounds cool. And the weather's going to be perfect because I think the big hubbub, the talk, everybody is excited about the thrifting party bus is one of the main events that you're doing where you rented a party bus and you're going and you're hitting 3 or 4 different like thrifting, like bins and some other thrifting locations.
Two big thrift stores and a bin store. So we're going to hit kind of 3 completely different styles of thrift store on the bus. And we get to spend about an hour or so at each one. And in between, we jump back on the party bus and go travel to the next one. So it's just something at each one of these events we talked about. The one thing we wish we could have done was gone sourcing with more of the people there. Like when we went to all these events, it would have been great to go sourcing with like Dave and Kevin and those guys, but we didn't get to at any of these other events. And this way we figure everybody gets to go sourcing with everybody, and you don't have to worry about trying to find rides or coordinate Ubers. We're just going to take everybody, throw them in a bus and go have a good time.
Which is cool. Cause that whole thing of just being able to share with one instantly. Oh, here's what I found. Here's what I got, and maybe a little friendly competition in the bins or at the thrift stores of, hey, look what I found. Or not even that, not even the competition, but learning, like maybe you're at one of the thrift stores or in the bins and you pass right by an item. You looked at it, you passed by it. And the next thing you know, you're on the bus or your thing and somebody else has that item. And you're like, oh man, I would have looked right past that. Or I did look right past that. Why did you pick that up? What do you know about these sorts of items. And, maybe pick up on some of that. Because, there's a lot of stuff that's easy. If you're going to see, high dollar pair of shoes, or you're going to see, video games and those sorts of things that everybody looks for. But to be able to, maybe somebody's carrying something onto the bus that you weren't, that you're not familiar with. And you
could certainly learn a lot from sourcing with other people. I know that was one of our favorite parts of all the events we've been to, is the sourcing. And we've been sourcing with different people every time. And every single time, bar none, we've learned something. We've learned about a new product. We've learned that we're not very good sourcers and other people are. Like that, you will learn something sourcing with other people, even by accident. So that's a lot of fun, but it's more the networking and camaraderie of sourcing with those people than anything. Like, we don't care if we come home with anything. We don't care if, we're not there to source. We're there to network and meet other resellers and maybe pick up a few tips. So the rest of it's just a bonus.
Yeah, that's cool. And, we talked about, some of the games and the prizes and stuff that you're going to have. And you were telling me that you had some folks like Josh, Harry Tornado, Josh and Haley sent some stuff for giveaways. You had Joe and Nicole from I'd Flip That have sent some stuff. I understand. I've seen some of the Instagram posts, the swag bags that you're giving out. Lots of cool stuff. There was no spoilers of what was in the swag bags, but
not yet. We thought about it. We have a spare bedroom here in our house that we've been kind of collecting all the stuff that goes into the swag bags, and there's some cool stuff in there. We've kind of kept it on the down low so far, but there is some cool stuff in there. And that's just the stuff that you're getting when you check in. And like I said, the prizes for this, our sponsors have been amazing. And we have prizes that came just from us as organizers. So the prizes are going to be, everybody is going to go home with something. And some people are going to go home with some really cool stuff. So I think one of the bigger prizes we have is like a laptop to give away. So it goes all the way from that down to, like an eBay branded IKEA bag.
Something worthless like an SSKPromo sticker, per se. Let's just say, maybe something like that.
We thought about throwing those into a drawing and giving them that way, but we figured we would just put those we'll spoil that. Those are going in the actual swag bag. We're giving them. Not because they're not worth anything. We're giving them away because we want everybody to have one.
And just because you don't know what else to do with them. It's like, the heck did he send these?
I have one wall dedicated to Ken stickers.
Well, it's I got enough of them, I think. Oh, and I have a plan. I have a plan to make some more. I got the idea the other day. It's like, a
new style, a new design,
a new design, a new style, a new some merch sort of stuff. I guess you would not really. I guess kind of merch, but I don't know. We'll see. I have a thought in my head.
Is there a lot of demand for SSKPromo merch?
Oh, you would be surprised. You would be surprised that there is absolutely none. I mean, that's the surprising part. Nobody is calling me and requesting anything except, when a new headshot comes out or whatever. And I had a good headshot planned for the Planes to Profit, and it just didn't work out.
Could have just been you riding a bull or something. Cowboy hat on.
Are there a lot of bulls in Omaha?
There's a lot of bull.
Well, we've 24. I don't math, but now there's only 4 days, 16 hours and 20 minutes until the event.
We've gotten closer already.
Every minute, isn't that funny how time works? Like every minute,
ticking.
It's just closer. I'm not sure. Cory just left for some reason. He might be done with the show. But go check out planetoprofit.com and check out, where'd you go, Cory?
I had to blow my nose. I was going to have snot running down my chin. I didn't figure I wanted to do that live.
But, we appreciate that. I
will. I'm a people pleaser.
It sounds like a really, really cool event. I'm looking forward to seeing all of the videos, the Instagrams, the stuff that come out like while the event is going on, and everybody's kind of recap videos.
We actually got our youngest, Hannah. She's she's going to latch on and come down with us. We've got her permission to get on to the thrift bus because you have to be 21 to get on, and she's only 20.
Okay.
So we've got her permission to be on the thrift bus, and she's going to be our videographer while we're down there. So she's just going to have a camera and record the event. So we should have some good footage after the fact to edit.
Yes.
And I'm sure there'll be lots of footage during from other people as well.
Yeah, I'm excited. We'll have to think. We'll come up with some plan because you'll be gone still Sunday, at the event when we normally record. So we'll have to see what's going to happen for next week's episode. If we're going to try to put one out, maybe we'll record early before you go. Maybe we'll record after you come back. Who knows?
The question is, if we skipped an episode, would anyone notice?
Well, this is true.
We could just put a thumbnail up there with no video.
They'll be like, "Hey, look, there's that following Monday." Then they'd be like, "Hey, look, there's a new podcast out." There is a new podcast coming out that I'm looking forward to seeing with Chad the Quirky Picker, and
I hadn't heard that.
I don't know. It's full-time resellers podcast or something like that. I don't know. I don't have enough details to talk about that, but Chad Quirky Picker, I like him. Got to meet him.
Was he on Slim Flippers
summer? He was on Slim Flippers
once. I thought I watched an episode of him on there
here recently, and he's been putting out more content, and they're starting a podcast. So I'll be interested to see what that's, and more on that later once we see it and
once we know.
But so yeah, just kind of wrapping that up. I'm very excited. I know it's a lot of effort that you guys have put in between you and Alicia and Lori and Kyle. And
we're excited to finally see everybody and be done with the planning and just go enjoy what we made and then be done with it for a little bit.
And I'll be sitting home with my FOMO. I'll be messaging Cory, how's it going? How's it going? How's it going? He's like, come on, dude. I'm in the middle of something. We're having a break. It's like, what's going on? What's going on?
I'm just going to ghost you. I'm not going to answer until next Monday.
Which, yeah,
that's
we ended up...
Get.
Well, we had like a 6.5 mile conversation the other day about
at least one.
Oh, here's what it is. We were talking about what we might want to talk about on the show, and I figured out the problem, Cory.
We never talk about what we want to talk about on the show.
Yeah, we have like a 6.5 mile conversation, and there's like maybe like a half a mile of it is actually talk about what we might want to talk on the show.
Yeah, we get all done. It's one of us has got to go for one reason or another, and then it's like, oh yeah, by the way, you want to do this for the show? Like, sure.
Yeah, let's talk about this. No, but what we were talking about is I have too much. I have too much stuff. I don't know what to do. Okay, here I don't know what to do with all of this stuff that I have. This extra stuff. I've been trying to get through my death pile, listing and stuff. But as you go through the death pile, or as you go through all these bags and boxes and stuff, I'm coming up with items that I'm not going to list for some reason or another.
Yep.
And I don't know. Now, some of them still have some value, but I don't know how to get rid of them. What's going to be the best way? I usually have a yard sale, maybe at least one yard sale a year, or maybe two, maybe one in the spring, maybe one in the fall. And they are a lot of work because I like to price everything. I know everybody does, yard sales different. They might put stuff out and, everything on this table is this amount or whatever.
That's kind of the way we go about it is we try to make pricing by categories or something. So yeah, everything on this whole table is $1.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I like to, just like when I go to a yard sale, I hate the yard sales that are not priced, where nothing is priced already, where you have to ask how much they want.
They should have some kind of price on them.
Because I'm always thinking like, oh, I walk up and, it's like, how much you want for this? Oh, like, and then they have to decide. I don't know how. And then they ask, honey, how much what did we want for this? It's like, you don't have a clue. It's your yard sale. How much did you think that you wanted for this? And I'm always thinking like, oh, they're going to tell me like, $10, we want $10 for that. And then the next guy's going to walk up and they're going to go, oh, I don't know, $5 for that. And it's like, wait a minute, you just told me $10.
See, we had a theory going in on sales like that at one point. We'd go pick something up that we knew roughly the value, and we'd ask them, what do you want on this? And it kind of gives you a barometer of where they're at with their pricing. But we found out last year that really doesn't work because it just depends on what they're attached to and what they're not.
Yeah.
I mean, you might pick something up that's worth $5 and they want, a quarter for it. And the next thing you pick up that's worth $5, they want $50 for it because it was their mom's. So
yes,
there's not a lot of logic when it comes to pricing. But yeah, we do tend to price in groups just to make it easy. Because if we're doing a sale, I don't want to spend 8 days putting a price tag on everything. I just want to put everything on this table. And at that point, we are trying to get rid of stuff. We're not.
Yes.
It's not part of our resale master plan. We just legitimately want it gone.
That will be my focus this year. Okay, so here's what the problem is. Okay, as far as like having the yard sales, like we're in winter right now, as shown in the previous Ken complains about winter video. So I'm trying to the process of working through my death pile is to get things listed so that they can get sold, so that they can get out of here. Listing them and putting them in my inventory helps clean stuff up. But so what I'm running into is all of these things that what do I do with them if I'm going to have a yard sale? What do I do with them in the meantime? Because
you have
still
a death pile of death pile.
Exactly. See, and so we were trying to, talk about different avenues to kind of get rid of stuff right now that still might have some value, even if it's, going to be 50 cents, $1, $2 items at a yard sale. There's still a little bit of value to them. And, are they Facebook Marketplace? Are they, some of them are just smaller items that I'm not really going to put on a Facebook Marketplace. I could go down the whole whatnot avenue.
For us, we were building different piles. I mean, like you said, we were building different death piles of our death pile, stuff we knew we weren't going to list. And we were building a pile that, this stuff we need to try and figure out how to sell because it does have value. It's just not, for whatever reason, it's not something we're going to list on eBay. And then we had like a donate pile and a garbage pile. And so we were just making piles. We weren't getting rid of anything. We were just moving it from one spot to another, like you said.
Exactly my point.
And that became a problem for us.
It's like I still got to store it someplace. It's still got to be somewhere. And, I have a whole shed full of stuff next door that I had moved, over to my folks' house, and we had cleared out a shed and stuff over the summer. I think I had talked about that.
I think Marketplace is the first. Yeah, I think Marketplace is the first answer to that, right?
Yeah.
I think it's the most obvious answer. Put it on Marketplace.
And, for me, usually I use Marketplace for those, bigger items, things that I don't want to ship, things that would be difficult, things that I can't ship. And
we've never really used it for things like it just didn't have a great sell-through rate on eBay. We've always used it for, like you said, just big stuff, furniture, end tables, couches, things we get in storage units that we can't really throw in a priority box.
Yeah. And you were telling me that there's something that some folks do called that are dollar auction through Facebook. It's like through Facebook. Is it through Marketplace or?
No, it's not through Marketplace. It's actually just a Facebook group. We actually we kind of got introduced to this from Happy Heart Treasures, Steve and Donna. They do this, and I know Alicia Inkpicker does this a little bit down in Lincoln, Nebraska. They have a Facebook group called Dollar Auction, where it's basically just a 24-hour auction. You take your item, you make a post, and then everybody in $1 increments gets to bid on it over a 24-hour period. And then whoever's bid is the last bid at the end of the auction gets it for however much it made it to. So basically, it's kind of a whatnot without the live selling. I mean, it's just a 24-hour auction in a Facebook group, and the simplicity of it is I think makes it a real viable option. You just have to get that group going or find a group like that in your area. Like for us, we don't have that. Like theirs is very well established and very active. it'd be hard to believe you'd put anything in that group and not have it sell in that 24 hours unless it was just complete trash.
Yeah. You know what? Now that you say that, I remember there was a Facebook group in my area that would do something like that. They would put up items, and it would kind of be on that same bidding. Somebody would you would put it at a price, I want $5 for this, or they could do that sort of. I never remember seeing much of the incremental bid, but I could see it working at that. But
there are a lot of sell groups in our area where you can just go in and put it at a price. It's not really marketplace. It's just a selling group.
Yeah.
And you could say, I want $5 for this. The dollar auction, the ones that are a little more strictly ran, they don't allow you to do that at all. If you put it in there, you have to be willing to take $1 for it. Because that's the bids are in $1 increments, and it's got 24 hours, and that's just that. Like, you can't go post something and say, I want $5 for it, or starting bids $5. You're willing to get rid of it. Bids start at $1 and go.
Yeah, so I need to do that because a lot of these would probably be items that I would put for $1 on a yard sale. On a yard sale table, $1, and if I can move them along, and it sounds like something that you could do in the winter, like right now. Somebody could, I'm not going to set up the garage and have people come out in the cold, but somebody just stops by. But that group that I was talking about, what they would do is it would be a weekly thing that started over on a Sunday. The whole Facebook page, all the items would be cleared out. And then on Sundays or whatever, people would list what they wanted. And then on Saturdays was pickup day. And they did it at a public place. It was one of the local parks.
Oh, they actually organized the pickup, huh?
Yeah. And what you would do is if you were selling items and people were buying items, everybody would meet between 1 and 3 o'clock on Saturday afternoon at the park. And you would go pick up items that you were buying from people. People would look
like a flea market, but everything's pre-sold.
It's all pre-sold. And I remember that they had some pretty strict rules about non-pickup items. If you went in and you claimed something and you bid, and it would get kind of turned in that you didn't pick something up unless the buyer had made some other arrangements. Hey, I can't get there between Saturday, between 1 and 3, but I do want this item, such and such and such. And you could make those arrangements. But Saturday was pickup day, and everybody would meet there, and they would exchange stuff, and the buyers would show up and pick up things. And they had rules like if you didn't pick up stuff as the seller, if somebody didn't pick up your stuff, you could report that person, and they would lose their privileges. They would get kicked off the group site because it was still like a private group or whatever. When we were talking about that dollar auction stuff, I thought, that is an avenue to be able to do that.
Yeah. I think you could structure a Facebook group to do a lot of different things like that. I mean, you could even have a Facebook group for free stuff. Just, this is local area. Yeah. Anybody that wants to put free stuff in here. It's like the one around here is called Free Cycle or something like that. And people post stuff in there. This is by the curb, come get it. And it's free.
Oh yeah.
Like you could do a lot of different things with a Facebook group. So I think you could structure it however you wanted, but I really like the idea of that dollar auction if you could get enough people in it. Like we've started one for our local area because we don't have one, but we also live in a town of like 7,000. Well, we don't even live in the town. We live outside the town, but we have about 7,000 people here, and it's a college town. So during this time of year, most of them are younger kids. Yeah. So we don't have a big population. It's not like Lincoln, Nebraska, where we've got 250,000 people. So we have to expand it to more like a 1 hour radius, which makes it more difficult. And it's also difficult to get that group up and going. But that's what we're doing now, is trying to get that up and going.
Yeah, I'm going to have to look into that more if there's any of that dollar auction stuff in my area. I did start to do, I did a search on it when you and I were talking about it. And my group, or the groups that were around here, they weren't following that same pattern that you had of like, it's basically stuff starts at $1 and you kind of bid there. It was just another site where everybody was just listing their stuff. Because I think that's what happens a lot too on Marketplace is people are part of all of these groups for this, either the selling or the buying or whatever, the local groups. And when they go to list their items on Marketplace, they just go down and they check every group that they're part of, whether it pertains to the group or not. And then they're blasting their posts out. And then, you know, you got people that are, you know, I'm not opposed to whatever, however people want to do their stuff, but I lose interest when it's the same person over and over and over when you're scrolling.
Yeah, that's where I usually...
my scrolling motion, Cory, right there. That's my scrolling motion. When you're
that's where I usually lose interest in a group is if I log into that group and I see the one person posted 40 items in a row in that group, I'm done. I'm out. Yeah. Like, I don't just announce you're having a garage sale and I'll come to that. Don't post 40 things in here for crying out loud.
Exactly.
But so that's Marketplace.
I'm looking for ideas.
Marketplace as well, we've been doing pretty good with lately. Like we did, I don't know if I told you, we did get rid of that treadmill. And
you were telling me about it, but I didn't know that actually a buyer came and
picked that up. So we got rid of the treadmill and we got rid of a couple of chairs and we got rid of like a rolling cart table. Like we've been clearing out some of that furniture from those storage units pretty decent here. So now I think we have enough room to reorganize this week and get some more pictures. So for furniture and stuff, that's been doing pretty good. But this other stuff, we did try to do a listing in our dollar auction group that we created. I think we're up to like 28 people in the group now. And we just made a post and nothing happened. So we let it run its course and then we deleted the post. And then I took those same things I posted and I posted them on Marketplace for, you know, basically like $3.
Yeah.
And they did sell. So we are moving more and more stuff on Marketplace than we ever have before. And most of it is that type of stuff we're just not going to list on eBay.
Yeah, I try to, you know, as I'm going through, I'm also trying to analyze a little bit of why do I have this stuff? You know, there's all different avenues. Well, you do
we buy in bulk.
Storage auction cleanouts, which gets you a lot of stuff. I haven't done that yet. You know, some of it could just be bad buys that you had. Some of it
we
can
got our
be
share of those.
You know, I've done different cleanouts or a lot of stuff comes with, you know, once people find out that you're a reseller, you're talking about stuff, whether it's family, whether it's friends, whether it's, you know, however, whatever connections and networking you make, people are like, hey, I'm getting rid of this stuff. Do you want it? And there might be, you know, they might have 2 or 3 big boxes of stuff and you know, look at it and it's, oh, there's a couple good things in there that I'd like to have, but you kind of got to take it all. You can't usually, when somebody's just giving stuff up, you can't cherry pick a lot of times. And so you end up with a lot of things that, again, may be listable, but are they worth your time? They might have some value, but a very poor sell-through rate or no sell-through rate at all. And there's no sense in wasting your time. But I got all this stuff that I can't keep through the winter, and I'm looking for those ideas. You know, I throw in the comments there, what are you guys doing with inventory that are bad buys? You know, I can donate it, obviously.
You can donate
but
it.
There's still some value. Some of it I might have had. I might have bought.
I mean, ultimately, if it goes nowhere else, we have gotten okay with being able to just put something in the garbage every now and then.
Yeah.
Like I think if you're going to do this and you're going to buy storage lockers and things like that, at a certain point, you have to get okay with throwing some things away because some things are garbage. If you've tried Marketplace and you've tried, you know, whatever routes you can come up with a garage sale and you still have that thing, it's because it is probably garbage. So if you can't find a way, we have a dumpster on our property because we live out in the country. So we have a garbage truck that just comes and picks up our dumpster once a week. And we don't mind throwing stuff away once we've tried to get rid of it. But until we've tried to make at least $1 on it. Yeah. I mean, we're going to try that first.
Yeah, I like to say it's hard to get organized and keep stuff. I have trouble letting stuff go. I keep thinking, or I have things that, you know, I kind of try to go by that whole profits and not projects. You know, I've got things that it's like, oh, I could fix that, or I could, you know, clean that up, or I could put a little bit of paint on that and, you know, get rid of it. It's like, I want to get away from that. I want to try to focus at least this yard sale season and this thrift on buying stuff that's listing ready as much as I can.
Yeah.
But one of the other places I get a bunch of extra inventory is around here. We have a lot of live auctions that, auction house is set up in somebody's, front yard or whatever, or they're doing that clean out and they do it auction style. But they always have what's the box lots. The box lots. And, you look in there and those usually go for, $1, $2, $3, depending. And if nobody's bidding on the stuff, they just keep adding boxes. Okay.
Here's a tip. If you haven't gone to these live auctions before, if you stay till the end, don't leave until the auctioneer leaves. Because if you stay till the end, a lot of the people that buy these box lots and the bigger lots, they'll pick out the one thing they wanted and they'll leave the rest just sitting on the ground, or they'll go put it by the dumpster. We took home a whole carload of stuff we didn't buy from the last auction we went to because people are buying the whole box lot for one item they wanted.
Yes.
And they'll just dump it and leave it. So you could load up like that too. But I know in a perfect world, we have a 40 by 60 building on the backside of our property that we use basically for when we buy units. We dump everything in there as we sort through it and pull it to the eBay shop. I would like to get to the point where that, we're super fortunate with space. We'd like to get to a spot where that is all just rows of tables. And then throughout the years, we get those things that we're not going to list just to go put them on the tables. And then once a year in the dead of winter, when there's no more garage sales or estate sales around, we open that building up and everything inside's $1 and just have our own indoor kind of $1 warehouse sale once a year. We'd like to do that because I think that'd be a good way to clear inventory.
Yeah, we had talked about that, or even, along those lines is getting some of the other resellers. I have a lot of resellers in my area that probably suffer the same thing, especially in the winter. Yeah, team up, rent a little building or a hall. I know that like at one of our local parks.
Use your Moose Lodge membership.
Yeah, something like that. Where any sort of a rental hall where you could all get together and just have, you could even pitch it like that, $1 day. Everybody that's going to come there is going to agree that all of their stuff is going to be $1 on their tables, and you would probably...
The only problem with doing it that way is I know Teresa well enough to where if we did that with other resellers, she would be going through their tables and we'd come home with more than we've brought. But it is a good idea, like co-op with other resellers and do a big sale. Yeah. If somebody did that here in the middle of winter, when everything's pretty much shut down, they'd be flooded. From the time they open till the time they close, they'd be busy.
Yeah. Yeah, there's, I keep saying, I'm just looking for good ideas to get rid of this stuff in the winter. I don't really want to list little knick-knacky or little, small things on Facebook Marketplace, because I don't want to be one of those guys that's got 40 listings of just junk. And not that it's junk, a lot of it's still good items, but I'm looking for ideas. I'm looking for good avenues.
You could join like a live selling platform, like a Whatnot or a Dibdit type thing, or District. You could join a platform like that. That's not for me. I don't like that kind of selling. Like I know I would not get on there and sell a bunch of $2 to $5 items and then pack up 80 orders. Like it's too much work for what you're doing. Not to say a garage sale or a dollar sale like that wouldn't be a ton of work too. It's just not my kind of selling. I know myself well enough. I wouldn't enjoy that. It'd be more than not enjoying. I would actively hate that. So it's not for me, but I know a lot of people have success with it.
Yeah. I've been thinking of going, doing some Whatnot, trying to get some stuff going, or, one of the different District platforms. I really have to look into that. I have lots of questions about that District, and, heck, maybe if I was coming to the Plains to Profit meetup, I could talk to the District dude that was there. But yeah,
funny enough, I think
go into that right
now. The guy that's coming from District, I believe he actually lives in Omaha.
Oh, really? How convenient.
So it was real easy for him. Which is good, because if he gets sick of us, he could just go home.
And I'm sure that might happen really quickly, Corey. I've hung out with you. I know,
nuts.
I know how quickly I wanted to get away when I was hanging out with you. So,
yeah. Well, resellers are a little bit different.
4 days, 15 hours, and 52 minutes right now.
Nice.
Getting
excited.
Yeah, so if you guys have any ideas or any plans that you do with your inventory.
Yeah.
That is, it still has
somewhere
a little
between
bit of value.
It won't sell and the garbage can. There's a whole area in there.
Because, there's, the donate the garbage. There's also a lot of things that are, might be recyclable. How do you say that?
Recyclable.
Recycle that you could recycle.
The craft market. We're learning more and more that there's a craft market for almost anything. Broken dolls, like you name it, that broken glass or pottery. People buy that to make mosaics and stuff. Like the craft market is insane. And there are some opportunities there, I think. Jill
is a master repurposer.
There you go. So everybody we're going to put an address here and you just send all your stuff to Jill.
But she is very good at looking at something and thinking of how could she turn it into something else. And she, does a lot of that. Right now she's working with a lot of clothing and things like that. She's been, buying a lot on Whatnot and things like that. But yes, the crafting, it's amazing what people will use.
I was on Instagram, not to change the subject. I was in Instagram and I saw the old school 80s sleeping bags with like the Smurfs and stuff like that on them, or the Care Bears and stuff. I saw somebody take one of them sleeping bags and turn it into one of those puffer coats. Like they took the sleeping bag and cut it up and turned it into an actual coat, like the puffy winter coats. That thing looked super cool.
Oh, and see, I bet something like that would. Now that really goes outside the profits and not projects sort of thing. But if you had those sorts of skills and you could do that, I bet stuff like that would sell for a mint.
We've got one here. We've got a sleeping bag here. I just got to get Teresa convinced to become Amish and start making coats.
Learn how to. But so I didn't get any answers. I didn't get any answers from you, Cory, about what to do. How to get rid of some of this inventory in the middle of winter. Well, no, actually, we got some good ideas there, but I want to see what other people are doing.
Well, I have several secrets that
stuff
I'm
away.
willing to reveal, but you have to come to Planes to Profit to see them.
I guess I'll never know.
Yep.
Guess I will.
They'll be in the notebook in the bag. We're going to be just a secret book.
Everybody gets us. Cory's secrets. And
Cory's secrets of reselling. Boy, that'd be a short book, wouldn't it?
Oh no. See, that's just it. They're not all about reselling. Just,
Oh, just Cory's secrets. Boy, that could get interesting.
The nonsensical ravings of a lunatic mind is but
is this my book or yours?
Oh, well, yeah. I
we
can't
can
write. I don't do
this.
words. I don't do words. Yes. I'll write what do they call that in the beginning? The beginning.
The preface, preface,
the forward or whatever. When somebody else like writes about something in a book, I don't know what that's called, but
yeah, I'm gonna have to look that up. I don't know.
I think I got some ideas there. I got a lot of ideas going on in my head now about I need to search some of these Facebook groups. I need to look into maybe Whatnot. I need to. Well, here's what I should do. Here's what I should do, Cory. As I'm sorting through all of this stuff, and I'm, the things that I'm going to put on a yard sale, that I'm piling into boxes and tubs. What I should do is price this stuff right now while I'm putting it in a box. Then come yard sale season time, when I'm going to put it out on the table, it's like it's all priced.
No, here's an idea that just came to me.
That wasn't a good idea?
No, that was horrible. If you have glass.
Yes.
If you have glass or things that are really breakable type stuff.
Yes.
A lot of these escape room places that have smash rooms around, they buy up breakable stuff like printers and glass and bottles and vases. And if you just build boxes of that stuff and sell them by the box load, these places going around to thrift stores and they're buying it at thrift store price by the box just to fill up their smash rooms because they run out of stuff all the time.
See, I bet if we might have to start, if you were pacing around, Cory, you do your best, work.
I do my best thinking on my feet. Yep.
But I bet if this episode went like 2 or 3 hours, we would come up with a lot better ideas. Because
we'd probably come up with at least one viable one.
Yes. Well, did we come up with one good idea?
No.
Let us know in the comments if there was one, or actually better yet, just in the comments, leave whether or not you have a good idea. Leave your idea. How are you getting
leave
rid
us
of this
your
stuff
ideas
that you're just not, in the trash or the burn pile, but, up to the point of donating it. I don't know. I just know that I have a lot of stuff that I need to get rid of, and I'm getting ready to, yard sale season is going to come up here pretty soon. We got about about a month and a half till it really gets into
well, March is when
swing.
our church sales start here. I think sometime in March our church sales will start. So we're just a couple weeks away from getting to the point where our church sales start firing off. And that's when we really start building inventory, is mid to late March.
Yeah. It's and I still haven't got, I had lofty goals, Cory. I always have lofty goals. I'm gonna list all this stuff over the winter, and my death pile is going to be down. And basically what I found is, I have listed quite a bit of stuff, and I've sold quite a bit of stuff as well.
Yeah.
Is that but I still have all the stuff.
A lot of stuff.
It's either in inventory that I haven't sold, it's either not listed yet, or it's these boxes that I keep making that are going to be yard sale stuff. And we
did really good getting rid of stuff. I need to have those other
avenues.
Yeah, we need another outlet to get the bottom of the pile gone. We did good clearing out inventory. We didn't get anywhere close to through our death pile, but we got through a lot of it. And I think that lets us go into this spring being a lot pickier. So it's not all bad. I mean, when we go buying at these church sales now, instead of trying to build that death pile for next winter, I think the first half of summer here is just going to be being really picky and buying stuff you want to list right when you get home because it's super good stuff.
Yes.
And then we'll start pack ratting away later.
It's my goal this year. And that's, when I go over to the bins store, the Goodwill bins here around the corner, that's kind of what I've just been trying to be picky about stuff. There's a lot of stuff that I could pick up that I'm leaving behind because I want those things that are listable right away, that have good sell-through rates, which I guess, wow, Ken, revelation. That's that's how to be a reseller. But I'm a lot of times I pick up stuff that has the potential value. I'm leaving stuff that I might pick up because I just like it, or I think that it's like, oh, that's cool, that should sell.
Well,
and
let me ask you this: if you
will sell.
If you had a neighbor that was getting ready to do a garage sale and he was going to have this big garage sale, but then for whatever reason he decided we're not going to be around that day, we can't have a garage sale, and he said, "Hey Ken, if you come and give me one price, I'm not interested in you coming and pick through it. If you give me one price, you can take the whole garage sale."
Yes.
Is that something you would come and take? Like, and if the answer is yes, if the price was right, then you need a way to get rid of 80% of it. Because only 20% of that is going to be worth going on eBay, and the other 80% you have to have a way to process.
Yes.
I think as long as your answer is yes, if the price is right to that kind of question, you need some of these methods to get rid of the rest.
And I would do that now. However, that also goes the other way in some of the stuff that we were talking about. Maybe it's I'm the guy that's going to have the yard sale, and I reach out to other people and say, again, I'm not talking about stuff that's junk. I'm talking about stuff that has some value to it. It's just for whatever reason it may be. I'm not.
If it was junk, I'd throw it away.
Yeah, it's just that eBay, which is the main platform that I sell on and that you sell on, I'm not in any other avenues yet. It's still good stuff. It has some value, but it's
here's a good example.
eBay stuff.
You got a whole box of that carnival plush that's full of the little beads. It's like hard plush, the stuff you win at fairs and carnivals and stuff. It's new. It's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with it. A lot of it just has no real resale value or no resale rate or sell-through rate on eBay. So you'd be storing it for a year. So you want to find a different way to get rid of it. You could throw it away. But it's not garbage. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, somebody probably wants it. Yes. So this is the kind of stuff we'd be looking for a way to get rid of.
One of the things that I found, because I sell when I do have a yard sale, I get this big bin thing that I make up, and I put all tons of plush in there, and I sell them, for $1 a piece or 15 cents, or not 15 cents. I would sell anything for 15 cents. 50 cents. But, a lot of times,
should do that at your next garage sale. Just make weird prices like 7 cents
50,
on this.
Yeah. 34.5 cents for this item right here. I won't take a half cent more or less. But I get rid of a lot of plush, but I have, I had somebody reach out to me, or they didn't reach out to me. They were at the sale, that they work at a senior center. And at the senior center, they do bingo and stuff a lot. And they're all the time looking for prizes and little stuffed animals and things like that. And so I made them like a really super good deal. I said, okay, you come back afterwards, because this was the bin of stuff. You come back afterwards, and whatever's left, I made them a really good deal on that. I had another person that was doing it was late in the fall, and they were doing for like a Christmas clearinghouse, to give for kids and stuff for Christmas and the plush. And so the lady made me an offer on all of the plush. I was like, that sounds good. I'll take that. And then she told me what she was doing with it. So I gave her like half of her money back. I said, you know what, use this I'll use this, you can have all of this plush. You can have this, half of your money back to use towards buying some other stuff, because I'm all about, Christmas and folks having what they, for, kids to have a good Christmas or whatever. So, there are those different.
The donation side. We did touch on the donation side. I think when we say donation, I don't think we have to apply that just to like a Goodwill donation or something like that. You could donate to anything, anybody.
Yes.
I never really considered that either. That is an option. You could donate to a lot of different things.
Yeah, a lot of different things. So yeah, this topic could go on and on forever, but I don't know. I want to see people's ideas. I want to see what they're doing. I want to get a really good idea. So I can fund, maybe I'll use some of this money to fund that, Cory's Secrets, Cory Tells All book.
Yeah, we're going to have to get a ghostwriter, because
I could be a publisher or a producer, whatever. What is it? Not the publisher. I would be
Well, you'd be a sponsor at that point, wouldn't you?
Sponsor, yeah. But I want some of the proceeds, though.
Oh, you figure. Okay. You want some partnership stake here.
I do. I'll fund the book.
Well, it's not going to sell well, so you're not getting a lot out of it.
It's because I had they're under my dude wipes back there. Cory's other books. Cory's a published author, if you didn't know that. But anyway, okay. Now we're just rambling about stuff. We're gonna end as Cory. I will say, everybody that is going to Planes to Profit, have a good time. Be very safe in your travels. Enjoy the event, enjoy the networking and the camaraderie. I know I've made a lot of good friends at the meetups and at the events, people that I cross paths with. Well, Cory, for example,
not this one, though.
Cory and Teresa.
You're skipping this one.
I am.
A good reseller wouldn't skip this one. Like they know the value of Omaha.
Well, the value of the value of Omaha. Well, no, here's what I'm going to say. A good full-time reseller knows his limits, knows what the sales are, knows what the you got to live within your means when you do this. And right now, sure, I could go in debt.
Listen, resellers are rule breakers by definition. If you weren't a rule breaker and a bit of a rebel, you'd have a job. So, come on.
That's true, but everybody's safe.
For those going to Omaha, we will see you in Omaha, and we're looking forward to it. And for those that aren't, maybe we'll see you next year.
Yes, for sure. Around at any events, and so any of those sponsors or anything that we talked about, we're going to link those. We're going to link those down below. To they were gracious enough to sponsor the event, and if you can go click on their link and check out their products and their things, that would be great. So, Cory, anything else?
No, I think we're good. Let's get out of here. I got a little girl's birthday party to go to.
Oh,
grandbaby. We're not going to do that. We can talk all day.
Some random little girl or whatever?
Yeah, I'm just going to a girl's party. I'm just going to find one. I'm just going to drive around until I see a pink party flag.
All right.
Grandbabies
We'll catch
first.
you next week. Yes, for sure. Have fun at that. And we'll catch everybody next week on the Reseller Clickbait Podcast.